Hello everyone, welcome back to the Chess Doctor. So this is going to be an untraditional video, not related to the regular series videos. This is because I played today my first ever classic on the board tournament. So I was very happy to do that, and I want to make some videos on this. So it was 3 games, so I will make a video for each game, and we will see how did it go. So what is the format of the tournament? So each game is you have 16 minutes and you get 30-second increments. So you have 60 minutes, your opponent has 60 minutes. That means this game can go for more than 2 hours. With also the 30-second increments, you can even go for 2.5 hours or 3 hours. And it's 3 games and they're all on the same day. So you can easily spend like 9 hours or 10 hours playing chess in that day. And I will comment on that at the end of the third video, because there is some stuff to learn from here, because I actually underestimated that. And we will see what happened. So the first game, I was paired against a girl. Her name is Mihak. Her rating is 1288. And by the way, this is the first time ever I play on the board against anyone who's above 1000 rating, because all the tournaments that I've been posting about on YouTube, they were against players who were less than 1000, because I'm still unrated on the board. So they were getting me paired against the lowest rated players ever in all the other tournaments. So I was winning, so no problem with that. But for this one was different. It was called the Wilson tournament or something like that. It was located in a Chicago suburb called Naperville, in a hotel there. It was actually a very fine place. Unfortunately, I didn't take any photos because seriously, after finishing the third game, I was very tired and just left immediately, because I spent there like probably easily 9 hours, I think so. It was very long. But anyway, so first game against Mihak, 1288 rating. So let's see what happens. The format is that I have 1 hour. She has 1 hour, 30-second increments for each move. I'm playing with white pieces. She's playing with black pieces. So let's see. Okay. So I thought let's play some solid openings, because this is my first game ever. And let's see what should happen. So I had in my mind to play d4. So I put my finger on the pawn on the d file, and then I played d3, and that was the first mistake in the game. I already blundered in my first move ever, in my first ever classic game. I have no idea what happens. I thought I played d4, and actually in the notation sheet I wrote d4, and then she played knight f6. Okay, and then I thought, okay, I played d4, now let's play c4. So I put my fingers on the pawn on the c file, and I'm about to move it to c4, and then realized, oh, the pawn on the d file is on d3. I didn't see that. So I paused for a second holding the pawn. So I'm holding it, so it means that I have to move it. So I moved it to c3. So that was my second move. Terrible already. You can see it from the bar here that already she has an advantage of 0.3. You know that white, when they start, if we go back, before starting, you have a 0.3 advantage because you're playing first. So because I played a terrible opening, she already has an advantage now. I was lucky though when she did this. This means that she's going to lay some sort of a King's Indian defense or something, which means that she doesn't care about what I'm doing right now. She will just continue with her setup, and then let's see what happens. This was lucky for me because I have to correct the horrible mistakes happened here. So I played knight f3. I just decided let's develop a piece before things collapse. And then she played bishop g7, and then I played d4 now. So I played this on 2 moves, as you can see. So I'm already behind because there is a move now that was lost. I played the d file pawn twice. And then she played d6. That's regular King's Indian now. And then I played c4. So I'm already down 2 moves in the opening. Terrible, right? She castles. And then I developed the other knight in c3. And then she played a6. The engine didn't like that move so much, but it's not the worst move ever anyway. And then I played e4. So when you play against the King's Indian, you should try to control the center with as much pawns as you can. And that's basically the typical opening against King's Indian. But remember that I am 2 moves behind, because I had to play these 2 pawns twice, which is terrible. Anyway, she came in with the bishop here, bishop g4, pinning the knight to the queen. So I asked her a question, what are you gonna do? She took the knight, I took back with the queen, and then she develops the other knight. Very logical so far. And then I developed the bishop e3, defending this pawn because it was not defended. And then she moved the rook here. And now pay attention to that rook, because something terrible is gonna, or something not terrible, something weird is gonna happen with this rook. So she played rook c8. Okay, if you see before this move, she had an advantage of 0.4. So the engine didn't like that move and gave me back the advantage of like 0.1. It's an equal game anyway, 0.4 or 0.1. That means the game is equal. But this was not a good move. Anyway, so I played a3 because this knight was about to jump here and make a lot of troubles. Usually in King's Indian, you should pay attention to that knight jumping here, and sometimes also gets an outpost after a5, so which is terrible. So don't allow this knight to go here. Anyway, she went back with the rook to b8, and I have no idea what she's doing. I'll save my comments about this after a few moves, because I have a theory about the rook going here and then going back. But now she moved this rook twice. She went to c8 and then b8, which means that the moves that I already lost in the beginning, I gained back one move. That's good for me, right? So now I was able to develop this bishop, now ready to castle. Remember that I didn't castle yet. She castled like 7 moves ago or something. Anyway, now she brought the other rook e8. That's a very logical move. Now I castle. And then she played h6. Logical move as well. And then I played queen d1. And this is actually the best move on the engine, believe it or not, because the queen here is doing nothing and there's no attack right now on the king side. So it's better to bring the queen back. So this was best move on the engine. Then she played rook a8. I have no idea what she's doing. She first went c8, b8, a8. She moved the rook 3 times, which means now I gained back all the moves that I have lost. I don't know what she's doing here. I have a theory about that, and I will say it now. She's gonna move this rook after that a lot, by the way. But anyway, the theory here is that she's playing some waiting moves. She probably thinks that she built her setup. It's a very solid defense. Try to come up with an attack. That's basically what she's doing here. I don't think she's moving this rook because there is like a pawn that's gonna be pushed and then we're gonna trade and then the rook is gonna take the other rook. I don't think she's doing this because of that. I think she's just playing some waiting moves, which is wrong, by the way. She should try to find some ideas. So anyway, I brought the other rook c1. And then she moved with the knight nd7. Okay, so now this pawn is under attack by 2 pieces. And it's only defended by this bishop. So I had to find another piece to defend it. There is nothing that could come to help except to do some discovery here by removing this bishop so that the queen can defend. That's what I did. I played bishop e2. The engine doesn't like this move, but that's my logic, was just to add another defender to that pawn. She went back with the knight. I don't know, like you played the rook 3 times and you played this knight 2 times. You're losing a lot of tempo here. Anyway, so I played b4. The engine didn't like it, but now I have 4 pawns at the center. Looks very good to me. The game is still very close to equal, but I feel like now my position is fine. I felt like in the opening I blundered, but now it looks like I'm totally fine. Then she went knight a7. Another very passive move. I don't know what she's doing here. She probably knows what she's doing, but I don't know. I didn't like this move. And the engine didn't like this move as well. I have a 2.1 advantage right now. Then I went queen d2. Now we're building a battery on this pawn. So she, of course, noticed it and played king h7. I believe the engine didn't like this move as well. Or did like it. So let's see. Before she played it, advantage was 1.9. After she played it, advantage is 2.0, 2.1. I think it's a very logical move. You have to defend this pawn. Anyway, now I brought the other rook d1. So now I'm building like a battery on this file. So she saw that, and then she played queen d7. Very obvious that she wants to bring this rook here, or maybe this rook, the one that she loves moving. But anyway, uh, now pause the video and find a breakthrough in this game for white. Okay, I'll consider that you pause the video and you thought about it. The breakthrough move is, it's not d5, it's not c5, it's not bishop anywhere, it's not a sacrifice, bishop takes a pawn or anything. It's this, e5. So what's the idea of e5 here? So she has two options. She either has to take or move this knight. And this knight has no squares except this square. Think about it. It can't go here. There's a rook, it can't go here. It can't go here, I'll take with the pawn. It can't go here, I'll take with the knight. It can't go here, I'll take with the pawn. It can't go here because I'll just take with the bishop, give her double pawns, open this file on the king. So it's terrible. So the only square that she has is this square. So this was a very good breakthrough. e5 was a very, very good move. Let's see if the engine likes that move. Eventually was 2.1. Now still 2.1, so it looked like it was best move. Yes. So she decided to take. It looks like that was not best move. Believe it or not, the engine thinks that best move was going back with the knight. But then I took back. We traded queens. And now she has to do something here. So again, this is the only square. She can't go here because I will take with the rook. So now look at this position. This knight is very passive. It's not doing anything. And this knight is also not doing anything. And this bishop, there is a wall in front of it. And I wanted to fortify that wall, so I played bishop f4. So adding a defender to this pawn because I want to keep this diagonal blocked. The engine didn't like that move, but again, her pieces are not doing anything. So I felt like this position is very good for me. She went rook c8 again, the fourth time she moved this rook. Because she thought that I'm gonna play this with a discovery attack on this pawn, and then if she takes this, there's double isolated pawn here, and I'm taking this. I think that's the idea. So this time there was actually a logic behind moving this rook. But anyway, now I move knight a4, and the idea is to go knight c5, just to launch an attack on these pawns here. The engine also didn't like this move, but I think it's also a logical move. And then she played e6. Then I played nc5, as I said. So now I'm attacking this pawn. So guess what will happen? Ta-da-ta-ta-da! The rook again. Rook b8. So this rook moved 5 times now. So first it went here, and here, and here, and here, and here. 5 times. One piece. And I don't know how many moves it will play so far, but I think it's like, this is like a big percentage of the moves were just this rook. And it was all on those 3 squares. That's very weird. So anyway, now I went with the rook to the 7th rank. Now it's getting very dangerous. And you can see already from the bar here that my advantage is 2.7. And then she played this logical move as well. Let's trade. I won't let you take any pawns. So I brought the other rook on the open file. And then she played nc6. I think this was a good move because this knight here was doing nothing. And it had to just come to the game. And now when I looked at this, there was actually no danger on this rook. But I felt like it's surrounded with a lot of pieces. And I don't know if there's any tactics that's going to happen. Looks like there is nothing. But I thought, okay, let's take this pressure from here and just take this rook. I took the rook. The engine was not so happy, but still I have a 2.4 advantage. She took back with this knight, and that was not a good move. She should have taken with that knight. This knight is very passive, not doing anything. It can't be developed from here. This is the only square for development. She had to take with this. I don't know why did she take with that one. But that was good for me. Now my advantage is 3.7. Okay. Now I brought the other rook, attacking this pawn. So what is she gonna do? Ta-da-ta-ta-da! She brought the king here. Okay, she didn't play the rook, right? That's very good. I don't know why she play the king. It's probably because of this X-ray here. But I didn't like that move, to be honest. And I think the engine didn't like it as well. Advantage was 3.7. Now advantage is 4. So yeah, that was not the best move. So I took that pawn. And now this pawn is under attack by 2 pieces. So she pushed it. But then there's this fork. Give me the rook and give me the pawn. You can't go here because I'll just take the rook. So she has to go here, and then I took the pawn. And now I'm up 2 pawns. I took the pawn on the c file, I took the pawn on the p file. And I have 3 on 1 here. This is a passed pawn, very dangerous. My advantage is 4.6. It looks like it's game over, right? But to be honest, it's not so easy. It's not so easy because look at this defense here, it's very strong. So let's see. She played g5. She has to start like pushing the pawns or do something. The pieces are very passive. They have to move. So I think I played a very bad move here. I played bishop g3. And why is this a bad move? Because it allowed the rook to go here. This square now is open to the rook. But if I went to e3, if this bishop has gone here, then these 2 bishops are controlling this square, this square, this square, this square. The rook can't do anything. But now because I went here, this square now is available for the rook, and this is exactly what she did. So now this bishop has to move. So I went bishop h5. Still my advantage is very high, I'm still winning. She jumped with this knight here. She wants to take this bishop. I thought, you know what, even if you take the bishop and I take with the pawn, I'm still winning. Look, what's the big deal? So I took that pawn. And then she took that bishop. And now my advantage is 4.2. I took back. I'm still winning. We're trading down. Everything looks fine. There's a passed pawn. And then she took that pawn with the bishop. Okay, so she got back 1 pawn, but I'm still up 2 pawns. So there is here 3 on 3, and there's 3 on 1. So I'm still up 2 pawns. Okay. What would you play with white here? There's an attack on this pawn, and this rook is gonna go here, targeting this pawn, and building a battery on this pawn with the bishop. Things are getting very dangerous, actually. Like, if she takes this pawn, there's a checkmating attack here on my king. But my advantage is 4.6. It's very scary. So what should I do here? So I went king h2, and oh my god, the game is equal now. Can you see that on the bar here? I went from an advantage of 4.4 to just close to equal, 0.6. What was the horrible mistake that I have done here? It's very, it's getting very complicated. It's now because look at this. This pawn is very weak. Very, very weak. So she brought back the other knight. I cannot take the knight. And now she blocked the way for the rook to go back. It's starting to get dangerous, to be honest. But so far, actually, so this I'm looking at the engine. But when I was on the board, I still saw that I was winning. Like, what's the big deal so far? Then I brought back the bishop because it was under attack here. And now the bishop is actually blocking the view of the rook to this pawn. So it was just this bishop here. But then she played this move. So she started in this pawn. Okay, take that pawn, and then I will start pushing that pawn and I will win the game. And that's basically what I did here. I played c5. This pawn is just 3 moves away from promotion. Now she brought the king. Very logical move where in the end game this pawn is about to promote. She has to bring the king, and now she's kicking the rook. Now pause the video and find the best move for white here. Spoiler alert, I didn't find it. So, okay, I'll consider that you pause the video. Best move, believe it or not, is not moving the rook to safety. Best move is knight c4. Oh my god, who would play this move? When you're on the board and there's this much tension or in the end game, who would play this? The rook is under attack and there's no defenders to it. Unless you are some sort of a GM who's like more than 2,500 or something, I don't think at our rating anyone would play this. Otherwise, you'll be cheating. So why is this best move? This is best move because if he takes this rook, you're going to take this bishop, forking the king and the rook. This means that you took 2 pieces for 1 piece. You took a bishop and a rook for a rook. Honestly, on the board, this was not easy to find. I definitely didn't play this. So I played the logical move, just move the rook to safety and attack this pawn. But also the engine was not happy about this. It's not so sad though. Like went from point 0.5 to 0. Like the game is completely equal now. But then she played this move, knight e4, and I think this was the best move in the game for her. And she tried to trick me when she played this on the board. She was like whispering, said, "Oh shit." She was whispering, trying to make me think that this was a blunder and this was a hanging pawn. But it's actually mate in two if you take this knight. So I didn't get deceived here. I didn't take the knight. Because if you take this knight, she's gonna take here with the bishop. Look at that. You cannot take with the king. You have to go down and then it's mate in one. So obviously I didn't take the knight here. And I was like, what the heck is going on here? Am I losing this game? The engine says it's equal and I have two more pawns, but how do I play from here? What do I do? And pause the video again and find the only move for white that keeps the game equal. I will consider that you pause the video. The move is rook d7 and I played it on the board. There was no way you can do anything else. This rook is gonna give you a checkmate if you don't challenge it on this file. The rook is defended with the knight and you're attacking this bishop and you're attacking this rook. This was the only move and it's the best move. So now what would she do? She took the pawn. This bishop is defended by the knight, so I have to go down. But now there's no checkmate. Remember, if the rook was not here, there was a checkmate here. So the rook had to go here. There was no other moves, guys. But now what would she do? She either trade or do something else. So there is a hanging pawn here. So let's take the pawn. So she now recovered one of the two pawns. I was up two pawns. Now I'm just up one pawn, which is this pawn, this passed pawn here. Okay. So what do I play here? Again, pause the video, find the only move for white that keeps the game equal. That's it. The position is getting very difficult, guys. Okay, I will consider that you pause the video. Only move, rook d1. Nothing else. Remember, man, you're getting checkmated on the back rank. There's no way around it. So, rook d1. I played it on the board. Now she played knight c3. Very logical move, attacking this rook. Pause the video again. Only move for white to keep the game equal. I played on the boards and I spent a lot of time thinking here. By the way, I didn't say anything about time so far. I was playing very fast up to the point this bishop was looking at this pawn here. I was playing very fast. And at that point, I think she was down to like 12 minutes or maybe less than that on the clock. And I still have like 40 minutes. I had a lot of time. So I spent a lot of time on this move here, like 10 minutes. Like, which square on the back rank should the rook go to? Should I go here to challenge this knight? Or what should I do? But then I spent my time and I played the best move, rook f1. Now you would say that all the pieces are very passive here. This bishop and this rook, they're all defending the king. But guys, there was a checkmating attack. This was a big deal. I had to defend my king. There was no way around it. But now there are no pieces playing, and this knight, what this knight can do. So my only hope now is this passed pawn. And she knows that. But she also knows that there is no other attack now. This king is secured. There is a rook and a bishop and two pawns. There is nothing that she could do. And the king also can't move anywhere except to this square. I don't know why. But anywhere. Anyway, so she had to find something else. So she looked at this pawn. This pawn, there are no challengers to this pawn. It can go here. Then it can go here, defended by this knight. Then it can go here. Then it can go here. Then it can promote. So she started pushing this pawn. I said, okay, I'll push my pawn. And she pushed the pawn again. I went bishop g4. She pushed the pawn again. Now, this bishop is looking to this square. I can't push the pawn. But thank God that this knight is here. This knight can go to some other squares and look at this pawn. So I went knight a8. And the engine didn't like this move. So look at that. The game was equal before this move. But when I played this move, the engine doesn't like it. And it looks like black is winning here, according to the engine. But how's that? When you're on the board and you don't know that black has advantage, what would you play here? Like, let's be honest, guys. What would you play here? A very logical move actually is to just play this. And if you take with the bishop, you lose your bishop, and you're losing the game. So that's what she did. She played this, and she still has the advantage. So I went here with the rook, challenging this knight. She promoted, and looks like the engine didn't like this move. But it's very logical, man. I'm losing the rook. Why is this a bad move? It appears that the engine here wanted her to play knight a2. I don't know where would the rook go, to be honest. But knight a2, I think the idea is that this rook can come here and look at this pawn. I think that was the idea. Regardless where would this rook end up. But this was not an easy move to find, to be honest. There is a pawn here that's about to promote, and she's gonna take my rook. What she played is very logical, but it equalized the game again. So she took the rook, and now I'm down material. She has 3 pieces, and I have 2 pieces. I push this pawn. Now there's no stopping this pawn. I'm watching the promotion square with my bishop. And now everyone, she was down on the clock. I think she had like 2 minutes or something like that. And she didn't know what to do. She wanted to stop this pawn. And there's no way she can come here with the rook, except if she frees up this square. And if she frees up this square, I'll just promote. But there is one move, one waiting move that can allow her to come here with the rook, which is giving a check from here, which is a blunder, because she just gave me a free knight. And then she came here with the rook, looking at the pawn. And then I thought, now I can't promote because I'm not watching this square, so I have to go back with the bishop. So I went back with the bishop. Now she played the king g7. And now I thought, okay, I'm gonna take this rook anyway. Let's not play this now, because I thought about that for a second. This rook is gone. She will have the bishop. I will have the bishop and the knight. But this bishop is going to take this pawn, and this pawn is gonna be dangerous. I mean, my king will be there on time, but I don't want any surprises. I don't want this bishop to block any squares or anything. I don't want any surprises. So I went here with the king. Move this bishop away from here. And then when she saw this move, she had 30 seconds on the clock, and she flagged. She didn't know what to do. She flagged. She was not paying attention to the clock, and she ran out of time, and I won the game. I was winning anyway. Advantage is 2.9, and this pawn is gonna go here. She's gonna take with the rook. I'm gonna take the rook. I have 2 pieces versus the bishop. I was winning. So that was the first game. I won it. I was very, very happy. My first ever classic game on the boards against a player whose her rating was close to 1300. So that's very good. So I was very happy. So this was the first game. I will make another video for the second game and another video for the third game. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next one.